Preying on me is kind of dumb. Except people do it anyway and they get away with it daily. People don't like being busted doing stupid shit. They don't stop to realize we live in the modern world where they can be recorded at any point in time doing any stupid shit that they're choosing to do. Andrew Wolnez wanted to be a punk-ass little bitch. Start shit, and of course believe that he's fine in doing so by trying to slander my name after doing stupid shit. Don't fucking threaten me. I can take a lot of fucking abuse. Doesn't mean I should have to. So this guy first started off by wanting to threaten me over a bunch of little shitheads who were threatening me. Not too fucking bright. Second of all, he's that shithead on the bike who wanted to cruise down there and try flirting with them little girlies. He's recorded in my videos. Poor guy. Now, of course, a lot of these youngins, of course, wanted to make a whole bunch of jokes that are really just fucking sick. Don't make rape jokes. Don't joke about raping people. That's fucked up. Of course, this asshole wasn't the one doing that, was he? No, it was them youngins down there. The same youngins that he was wanting to try threatening me over, claiming some of them was his kids. Well, if you trained your kids to be little fucking shitheads like that, well, goddamn, the hell kind of a parent are you? It's a good question. So he wanted to start off with, oh, he's writing about kids. With all due respect, lots of people write about kids. Me, I recorded the situations. And this guy thought, oh, well, I'll just be a dick to this dude. I'll just start making accusations and assumptions and just treat him like trash without finding out what actually went on, without actually looking at the evidence. I'm just going to be a douchebag. Well, he fucked up on that. I do my best to be nice to everybody, but when you fuck up, you fuck up. He shouldn't have targeted me, just like them youth shouldn't have targeted me. Just like Christian shouldn't have targeted me. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say Christian's some sort of a bad person. I get that he's a drug addict. I get that. But that don't give him any excuse to come over and make my life hell. And them youngins that he was yelling at and threatening to kill him. You know, them youngins shouldn't have targeted me over that. I'm not the one that was threatening to kill him. Christian was. And that's recorded. This guy yesterday wanted to look and fish, try to find any excuse that would somehow magically validate his goddamn ignorance and stupidity. Well, it's not valid. If the parents here in Tillamook are teaching their kids to be racist little fuckheads and that there are no goddamn consequences, well, y'all are teaching your kids the opposite of what y'all be pretending. Oh, yeah, they can take care of themselves. No, they can't. Your kids out there in that parking lot, the only protection they have is you idiots saying that that shit's okay. It's not okay. Now that guy fucked up again by wanting to accuse me of, what was it, being a pedophile. Well, holy shit, dude. Lots of people like to use that excuse. Oh, you must be a pedophile. That'll make it okay if I assault you. I'll just call you a homosexual. That'll make it okay. We'll just pretend like you're creeping on little girls. That'll make it okay. Now, of course, I did the right thing in those situations. I made sure that I stayed facing him. I'm not going to turn my back to somebody like that. That's how you get stabbed in the back. You can't defend yourself from somebody stabbing you in the back. Your back is to them. You don't have eyes in the back of your head. And I've been cold-cocked in the back of the head enough times after somebody said, "Hey, Sean, you need to just walk away." All right, I'll walk away. What the fuck? You walk away, people punch you in the back of the head, break their knuckles on the back of your head, and then they play victim when they busted their knuckles. You got no idea how many people tried to punch me in the nose. I flinched, and they punched me right there, or right there. What happens when somebody punches you right there in a solid chunk of bone? They break their fist. That's what ends up happening. When you talk about what you do, there's what you think you would do, and then there's the reality of the fact that people are not going to move or react the way that you want them to. This guy yesterday wanted to accuse me of being a pedophile. Well, he sure as shit didn't like it back, did he? He thought he was just going to come up to me, start some shit, threaten violence, and then, of course, what I do. Pulled out my camera and started recording. And then he was angry about that. "How dare you record me threatening you?" Every fucking predator. "It's against the law to record me." Like the fucking hell it is. I even record my court dates. That's right. So far, I have 3 court dates recorded. Do you like that? When the law doesn't follow the law, neither do you. That's the rule here. The United States government does not want to fulfill its social contract. You are no longer obligated to fulfill your end. Then, of course, it'd be a lot more difficult to turn this guy in because I didn't know who the fuck he was. Recognized his face, don't have his name, sure as hell didn't have his last name. So what did he do? The first time he wanted to start shit, threaten violence. I got the recording going, and of course, there he goes again. Well, if you're going to do that shit to me, I'm going to record every time you're around. Not sure if you noticed, but whenever I see Farnsworth, I fucking say something. Not because he's trying to hurt me, because he's not. Most of the time, Robert Farnsworth is trying to mind his fucking business and not have any problems. For me, I record because his episodes have resulted in me having plenty of valid reason to be afraid of the man. That doesn't mean that I hate him. I mean, Robert Farnsworth, since the situation over there by the St. Albans Church, I've spoken with him 3 times. First time, he was real nice. Second time, well, he was far more threatening than he needed to be. And then there's yesterday. What did he do yesterday? What did Robert Farnsworth do yesterday to me? Let me tell you what a horrible, horrible thing he did yesterday. He walked up to me and he handed me $2. Now, as he was approaching, I could see that it was him. I also recognized that he wasn't yelling or shouting or screaming. I kept him in my peripherals. And yeah, I was pretty freaked out at that point in time. when he handed me $2, well, I accepted that for what it is, or whatever it was meant to be. I assume it was meant to be an apology. I was able to get coffee this morning, right? It wasn't just him who contributed, quite a few people did. There's what people say about me, and then there's the reality of it. So this guy, when I started the video, he wanted to get up in my face, right? Accused me of doing drugs. Outright lying and claiming he's seen me doing drugs. So what did I do? Well, I started talking. Because that's what all these little druggies do. Look at Natalie Bollinger. Look at Tim Beeson. Look at Ted Bollinger. Who were Natalie Bollinger's actual predators? Tim Beeson? Ted Bollinger? Yeah, those were her actual predators. Her uncle Troy Bollinger. Her mother, Rose M. Kelly, a.k.a. Rose M. Self. Now, where did this guy screw up? Where did he screw up the most? See, because within 15 minutes of the first altercation, same recording, I hadn't even turned it off. Literally the same recording. I say, I'm going to make sure that I record this for my safety. And no sooner than I say that, he come across the street looking for some more violence. Swung at me twice, missed both times. Reached over my shoulder and was trying to take my phone away, trying to press my phone buttons when he realized he wasn't going to take my phone away. I had my back to him. That's right, he could have stabbed me in the back, could have punched me in the back of the head. We tried. The first swing missed entirely. The second swing missed entirely. And in between there was him trying to grab my fucking phone. Is that where he fucked up the biggest? No. Not even close. Because see, he wanted to get more threatening. And I made a video about him. And I showed the picture of him from the actual recording. I took a screenshot of it, posted it up, and I kept posting it up. You're going to be predatory. I'm going to speak up. I'm going to make sure the world knows who you are. So what'd this guy do? Then he wanted to get a hold of me when, damn, it's fucking impossible for the cops to give a shit if you don't know the person's name. Now, they may know exactly who you're talking about, especially in this town. They know exactly who you're talking about. But they're going to play stupid. We can't do anything without the last name. Do you know where he lives? No, I don't fucking stalk these people. They stalk me. Big difference. That guy yesterday, after starting shit and talking shit, wanted to go screaming and hooting and hollering about how poor him, he was the victim. Motherfucker, you were the one threatening me, not the other way around. I exposed predators. So, of course, after what legally is an assault, the first time, and the second time, same video, and the third time, same video. There's also the two situations in between there where he was across the street staring at me and yelling at people. And, of course, I'm not going to take my eyes off of him. I mean, I'm not just going to sit there and stare at him like an asshole like he was doing to me, but I'm going to absolutely not take my eyes off of him. So then he wanted to type on my channel. Well, that really screwed him over because at that point, I got his first name and his last name and another picture of him. Plus, Now I have screenshots of him lying through his ass. I also got proof that he's had that profile for quite a few years. So it's not like one of these internet junkies that gets on here literally every single day, makes fake profiles to type at me in chat. He's not one of those guys. This is his legit profile. Wanted to claim that, well, he did hit me. Just not when he was trying to. When he wanted to chest bump me, yeah, he definitely made contact. It's not like I had anywhere to go, and it's not like I could run away. Now, when he was swinging at me, when he walked across the street to start swinging, he didn't hit me that time, he missed. Then, of course, after I got his name, because he wanted to be a dumbass and type at me, well, I can't go to the police, can I? Not without a friend or family member who gives a shit. I'll get blown off, so what do? Post it in public. Dude don't like that. So I made a video called Show Me on the Pegasus Where the Bad Sean Touched You. Andrew Wolnez. He came out at around 7 minutes through the video. Kicked my vehicle twice. Wanted to be angry that I called him a predator after he had literally been predatory towards me. Repeatedly. Then he wanted to proceed to get into my vehicle and be threatening, and, well, at that point I got sick of his shit. At first he wanted to pretend like I was some druggie. So what did? I spoke to my camera. I explained that all these little druggies here do this. They do this nationwide. Goddamn right. What'd he do then? Got in my face. Wanted to assault me. Wanted to scream at me. Woo-wee. What would have happened if I'd have done that? Cops would have showed up in 10 seconds flat. You goddamn right I speak out. And you goddamn right I'm willing to go back to prison to protect children. Now, this guy wanted to talk about his 6 kids. Statistically, who's the most likely to molest your kids? You are, as a parent. You. Not some stranger, not some hobo. Not somebody you don't fucking know. The person most likely to do that shit to you is your own dad. Now, if you want to bully somebody who stood up to bullies, you're not a very intelligent person. I'm not sure if you fuckers noticed, but I've been to jail and prison for protecting children. Not just children, though. I'm also protecting myself, my sister. You goddamn right I try telling on my predators. Now, this wolnez feller screwed up even worse. Now, he, first of all, committed felonies on camera. All right, this isn't misdemeanor shit. That's the thing about being disabled, is that all of those crimes are advanced. You commit those kind of crimes against an at-risk individual, they advance. There is no civil anything when it comes to disabled people, because, especially in my situation, there are so many of us that cannot defend ourselves or protect ourselves from this kind of an onslaught. That's why we have mandated reporter laws. Because throughout the history of the United States of America, law enforcement and the like, disabled people, when abused, have historically been used for what? making a profit. Now, did he assault me when he came out into my vehicle? No, I can't really call that an assault. Yes, he was trying to poke me in the eyeball. Thought he'd do it as close as he possibly could, and I kept moving my head back, and his arm kept coming in further. No, dude. I'll bide my time until I am safely away from you, and then I'll speak up as safely as I can. And I'm not going to use nice words. So he wanted to start off accusing me of being a druggie, claiming he saw me doing blues. Really, bitch. Really. Then he wanted to accuse me of being a pedophile and a murderer. Literally any excuse that he could come up with that he thinks will magically make it okay for him to target me. And this is what makes Natalie Bollinger, Alicia Bollinger, and Maddie Boa such disgusting excuses for human beings. If it's not true, you don't fucking say it, Maddie. If it's not true, you don't fucking say it. Just because you're mad at somebody doesn't make it okay to spread them kind of rumors. I still admit to this day the nice things that all these people did for me. I don't pretend those things didn't happen just because I didn't get my way. This Wolnez feller wanted to step into the kitchen. Well, now he's all over the fucking internet. His name and his picture all over the internet. His shitty deeds all over the internet, and him playing victim all over the internet. He should have been smarter. And then those of you who want to say, oh, well, it's your fault for speaking up. It's your fault for recording it. Really? Maybe you apply that to somebody who's perhaps a different gender. Let's apply this to somebody who is female. If a female is abused by that guy in that exact same way, how are you going to react? Are you going to tell her that she's a horrible person for recording it? Or are you going to go, holy shit, that's some fucked up bullshit and somebody should do something? Well, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but it's good news. You're someone. You are someone. You, when you see these things happening, you are the first responder. Not the police, not the ambulance, not the fire truck. You. If someone's beating your neighbor to death, you are the first responder because you are there. You hear it. You may even see it if it's out on their front lawn. What do? Do you call 911 and hope that they'll do something? Hope that they'll be the first responders while you stare out your kitchen window and watch? Do you pull out your camera and point it for entertainment value? Like, man, look at that lady get her ass whooped. She getting beaten like a redheaded stepchild. Or you go outside and get his attention so it's on you, so that he's not beating on her. Point your camera at him and let him know loud and proud that you're pointing that camera at him, that it is live on YouTube, that anything that he pulls is recorded. And good fucking luck, Chuck. A lot of these people didn't do their jobs. They didn't do the right thing. And I'm talking about the professionals who are supposed to do this. I'm not sure if you noticed at all, but most of the people that have been actually helpful to me, actually useful, number one, they're sober. That's pretty important right there. And the majority of them are women over the age of 35. There's a lot of women that I know, like Jamie, for example. What did she say? What did she say about her son? She said, I hope he never dates anyone like me. That's what she said. It's because she knows how horribly she's treated men in her lifetime and how horribly she's taken advantage of them, and she doesn't want that for her son. Looking back on her life and how she's treated men, no, she does not want that for her son. Now that wolnez feller pulling his stuff here at the Safeway and then going across the street to do it in front of the, what's it called, the senior center there. And then coming down and beating on my vehicle, getting into it and being threatening. Now, what did I do? He wanted to threaten to break my phone repeatedly. What did I do? I made sure I fucking recorded it. All this stuff that you throw at me, let's change the scenario a little bit. Let's say instead of it being a woman this time, we'll say it's a little girl. A little girl that this is happening to. Is this acceptable behavior from Mr. Wolnez if I was a little girl? I'm not little though, am I? And I'm not a girl, am I? I'm little for a guy. With my disabilities, well, there's a lot more to it. Basically makes me littler than I physically am because I don't have the strength that I did. I don't have the mobility that I did. I'm easy to victimize. And I know it. And these people know it too, which is why they choose to do so. Wolnez isn't the first person to try this bullshit over a rumor, although the only thing keeping him from actually going fucking full-on assaulting me was the fact that he's a little bitch. Was afraid of doing it on camera. So what do I got to worry about? Him starting shit when I'm not recording, when I'm low on battery. I got to worry about his friends and family retaliating, which is what he was doing. He was wanting to retaliate against me for telling the truth about a bunch of racist little shitheads who've been tearing shit up and being racist fuckheads since I got here. And until they started trying to threaten and harass and intimidate me over that situation with Christian threatening them, I just fucking ignored the little turds. But now you notice I don't use nice words to describe most of them. Why don't I? There's also the fact that a lot of them youngins wanted to keep on calling me over. They didn't call him over. He just showed up. Now, there's at least one video where he's flirting with some of them girls. Possibly two of them. You'll be able to hear his voice. Now, where he really fucked up. Or he really fucked up wasn't in the crimes that he committed, because he would have gotten away with those. People here who knew exactly who he is, We're not giving up his name. Well, he gave up his own name. That's where he screwed up. Now I have his name. Also, he wanted to type that he wasn't swinging at me. It's recorded him swinging at me. Also, him reaching over my back and over my shoulder, trying to turn off my phone, trying to grab it out of my hand. He wanted to threaten me and play victim, assault me, try to break my personal property, and then play victim. Well, yeah, there's no reasoning with an idiot like that. And of course, the song and dance, ain't it? Somebody sticks up for themselves. Somebody stands up to you. What do? You slander his name and run around and try to get all your friends and family involved. Fucking dumbasses. Where he screwed up is in the fact that I have his name now because he was not too intelligent about the crimes that he committed. Not sure if you noticed, but if I am forced to commit a crime, I'll do it publicly. And I'll record it if at all possible. Also, you can follow the lineage of stupidity from law enforcement and others. How before I do anything desperate, I try and try and try again to get the help that I need stopping this abuse. By the time I break the goddamn law, people's lives are at stake, and you better fucking listen to me, because if they end up dead, you and I got more than just little problems. If people end up dead because the cops didn't want to do their jobs, they just wanted to threaten, harass, and bully, antagonize, and of course, gaslight a homeless victim of abuse. How does that end up? Well, let's take a look at the statute of limitations here. Let's take a look at the fact that these people, mandated reporters, who didn't do their jobs, can be charged with manslaughter, attempted manslaughter, and many other crimes if someone like myself, for example, or Natalie Bollinger, if they come to you about being abused and you don't try to turn it in, and then you tried to hide the fact that you didn't turn it in, you become a felony immediately. Or you become a felon immediately. That advances from being just a misdemeanor to being a felony real fucking quick, don't it? When you fuck up, it's a $2,000 fine here in Oregon. When you try to hide the fact that you fucked up, it's up to 40 years in prison. 40. Helping to cover up crimes committed by others, that's additional charges. Making fun of and bullying the victim, well, holy shit, that's additional charges. Whining like a mule when you get that treatment back, that's even more charges. But the important thing here is that there's a lot of officers that should rightly be locked up right now for manslaughter. Because Natalie Bollinger did, in fact and indeed, get her fucking brains blown out over that situation, where those mandated goddamn reporters didn't feel that it was their job to do their jobs. All they cared about was making a fucking profit off of me. Now, this Wolnez feller, where did he fuck up? He started shit with the wrong guy. Thought I was some sort of goddamn pushover. I get gang stalked by a bunch of racist little shitheads, and this fucker want to come up on me and pretending like I'm trying to piss in his pooper. Do I hate this Wolnez feller? Oh, hell no. Do I hate them youngins? Oh, hell no. I hate what they did. And I hate what they continue to do. And I hate that law enforcement here really doesn't care about the law. They use this as their own private vengeance department. And all these different police agencies protect each other. If they commit felonies, they'll commit felonies together. Clatsop County helps the cops here get away with crimes a lot. And the cops here will send you to other counties. Try to insinuate that if you go to another county, you'll get help there. You can turn in the crimes there, but you get to that other county and they say, oh, you can't turn it in, you're in the wrong county. Excuse me. Maybe you should call up these other departments instead of just treating me like I'm a liar. Police officers lying about what the law says because they don't want to get in trouble, pawning us off on others. That's not okay. Now, none of this is that Wolnez's character's fault. None of it. None of the horrible things that the police have done is his fault. None of the fucked up shit them youngins are doing is his fault. He didn't choose their actions. He did, however, choose his. Wanted to accuse me of being on drugs. Didn't like having that accusation back, did he? Now, did I react by getting in his face and trying to assault him? No. I countered his argument. You want to lie about me and pretend like I'm a druggie? Well, shit, two can play at that game. It shouldn't be a game. There's also the fact that I didn't claim that I saw him doing drugs. He wanted to pretend like he saw me doing drugs while acting like a goddamn druggie. And then what does he want to do? He wants to, I don't do drugs! Oh, dude, you're fucking throwing a tantrum in public. Unless there's a real goddamn safety issue, knock your shit off. You want to start shit with a disabled dude, fucking slander his name, and then lie to others and try to get them involved and try to get them to hurt him. You're a dumbass dude. That doesn't work for you. You're not a woman. People are not going to drop their shit for you the way they would for a woman. And hiding behind your kids as an excuse to victimize disabled people, that shows a severe lack of morality on your part. Shows a lack of respect for your own children. It shows that you don't care about them. They're tools. You use them to try to get some sort of sympathy. When you break the law, oh, poor you, you have kids. If any of his 6 kids came to me and said, hey, my dad's abusing me, I want help turning it in. Would I help turn it in? Fuck yes, I would. If his kids say, hey, he gets drunk and beats on me, would I help turn it in? Of course I would. If they said, hey, my dad doesn't actually do drugs or drink, he's a perfect angel in that department, but he also seems to think that my butthole is a pincushion for his cock, would I help turn it in? You goddamn right I would. Well, you guys talk about what you would do to sexual predators, and you don't do those things. You just run your mouths. I tell you, I'll turn them in. If the cops won't listen, I'll go public. Now I automatically go public. Because cops will not do their jobs for a homeless, disabled man. This wolnez feller is not responsible for the actions of the police. He is also not responsible for the actions of those youth. He is absolutely 100% responsible for his own actions, his own decisions, and his assumptions. Those are all on him. Now, as far as him assaulting me repeatedly, well, I'm going to tell you something. Legally, it's an assault. But I don't want the dude harmed. If he's got kids, I don't want him going to prison for the rest of his life. What do I want? I want for the victimization to stop. I do want actual consequences for actual predators. That includes Officer Lothman. That includes Deputy Reeves. That includes Officer Olson. It's not that I didn't do the right thing. It's that I was cut off from the resources to do the right thing. Cut off from the resources to show evidence. When I had the resources, I had to battle hard for them. And then, of course, I had to stay with drug addicts, alcoholics, drug dealers, people who were too busy yelling and screaming at each other. How the hell are you supposed to get your taxes done with people yelling and screaming at each other? And this is a lot more complicated than taxes. And the further it goes along unchecked, well, the more complicated it gets. And people want me to break it down into a 45-minute session of therapy. How many of y'all, when a crime is committed against you, are forced to move to that state, forced to try to get housing in that state, and then, of course, forced to go to your predator's friends for help? How pissed off would you be if you went to Arizona and you got raped in Arizona and you went to turn in your rapist and you've got video evidence of the rape, and the police officers blow you off the way they blow me off? And all of you blow off my disabilities. You pretend that they can't possibly exist because it doesn't fit your goddamn narrative. See, all these dumbasses, the Bollinger family and everything, with the exception of Ted and Troy, those two can go to prison for the rest of their lives. All Alicia Bollinger has to do is speak up. Who raped Natalie Bollinger? Well, for starters, more than one. Ted Bollinger, her own father. Troy Bollinger, her own uncle. Tim Beeson, her drug-dealing ex-boyfriend. My older brother told me something once that stuck with me through most of my life because I've noticed that it's true. He said, "Sean, you can get any woman you want as long as you know what her drug of choice is. If she likes booze, get her booze, she'll put out. If she likes coke, get her coke, she'll put out. If she likes meth, get her meth, she'll put out." I told Jamie how disgusting I thought that was. But my older brother's point of view is like that. And what did Jamie say? She said he's right. Now this all comes back around to this Wolnez feller, don't it? Is he my most recent predator? No, he's not. I didn't see him at all yesterday, but I did have to deal with people, of course, screaming out their windows at me. Sometimes I get it recorded, sometimes I don't. But the fact that I've got these things recorded so many times kind of shows that it's going on now, don't it? Now this Wolnez feller, if he's really a father of six, really gives a shit about his community. He'll want to do something to change it instead of trying to victimize the victims. The cops won't do their goddamn jobs here, and of course the judge is crooked as fuck. Every judge is going to be crooked as fuck here. I forgive you for being stupid. Don't do it again. But what does that usually mean to a stupid person? It means do it again immediately, doesn't it? When there's a situation where it's dangerous, I'm going to record it. When there's someone around me who has a history of being predatory towards me, I'm going to pull out my camera and I'm going to record it. Maybe they're not doing anything this time. Situation with Molly. For the last week of her bullshit, she didn't talk to me. She didn't look at me. And why is that? Because she realized that she had already been recorded enough times doing fucked up shit. And she was lucky she was not on her way to fucking prison. I'm not sure if you're aware of how serious the charges are for taking advantage of an at-risk adult. For assaulting an at-risk adult, everything is advanced. And this is nationwide, by the way. If it's supposed to be a civil thing, well, it's also criminal if you do those things to somebody who's disabled, like me, because we can't defend ourselves against it. And then, depending on what you did, then they divvy it out whether it's a misdemeanor or a felony. Of course, if the cops don't care, why should you? If you don't care, why should the cops? Now, I got this stuff right here. It's ready. It's handy. And all three of those situations yesterday, instead of recording it, I could have just sprayed his ass in the face. Or sprayed his face in the ass. The guy screwed up by making false accusations. And then, of course, didn't like it back. How did he react to me saying it back? He responded by trying to get violent, by trying to threaten, harass, and intimidate me. Dude, I can't back down. I can't run away. I have to just take it, which means I have to stand up to you. Also, I ain't gonna get cold cocked in the head by you. Telling me to walk away? Yeah, but I'll back away, slowly. I'll try to make my way to somebody who's not just gonna watch. That Wolnez feller, he screwed up. He didn't realize what the fuck he was walking into.